Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. In the latest twist of The Young and the Restless, viewers have lingering questions about the true nature of Claire Grace Newman, Haley Aaron. This follows her unsavory introduction to her younger sister, Katie Abbott, Sienna Mercury. Despite a seemingly reformed persona, Katie's rejection could potentially incite a darker side of Claire. The CBS soap keeps audiences on their toes with Claire's troubled past, including a kidnapping plot against her grandmother, Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, and a malicious scheme orchestrated with her great-aunt, Jordan Howard, Colleen Zink. Claire navigates her new family dynamics, including the acceptance of her brother Johnny Abbott. And the distinct disapproval from Katie, there's a brewing worry that her newfound happiness could be threatened. Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinel, and Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, find themselves in a familial whirlwind. This comes with the return of Claire's father, Cole Howard, and it is further complicating matters on Young and the Restless. The unresolved tension on Y&R sparks suspicions. Is Claire's redemption maybe merely superficial? And is there a potential of a psychotic relapse looming? The arrival of Claire causes disruptions in the family, particularly for Katie, who faces bullying at school due to her sister's infamous past. As tensions escalate, viewers are wondering if Claire could resort to extreme measures, perhaps to secure her place in the family. Despite warnings from Jordan, Victoria remains hopeful about her second chance with her long-lost daughter. However, the question remains, is Claire Newman truly reformed? Or is she a ticking-time bomb waiting to explode on Young and the Restless? Get all your daily spoilers and news here at Soap Dirt, and stay tuned for updates on your favorite characters' fates. The Genoa City skyline gleamed under the golden hues of sunset, an illusion of peace draped over the town like a comforting blanket. But beneath the surface, tensions simmered, threatening to erupt in spectacular fashion. At the heart of the brewing storm stood Claire Grace, a woman teetering on the edge of darkness, and young Katie Newman, the unwitting spark to ignite the fire. Claire Grace had fought hard to suppress her past, locking away the memories of deceit, betrayal, and the madness that once consumed her. She had convinced everyone that she had changed, that she was a woman reborn, desperate for redemption and a chance at a normal life. Victoria and Cole had cautiously allowed her into their lives, determined to see the good in her despite her past transgressions. Even the skeptics in Genoa City had started to lower their guards, believing, however hesitantly, that Claire might have turned a new leaf. Katie Newman was everything Claire had never been: innocent, loved, and protected. The young girl's presence was a beacon of light, an embodiment of hope and purity in the Newman legacy. Yet that very purity, that very sense of belonging, gnawed at the fractured pieces of Claire's psyche. Katie wasn't trying to push Claire's buttons. In fact, she wasn't even aware of the storm she was stirring within the older woman. But children have a way of speaking uncomfortable truths, of saying things that unearth buried wounds. It was an innocent conversation, at least on the surface. Claire had been helping Victoria prepare a small gathering at the Newman estate. She had been on her best behavior, proving that she could be trusted in their home. Katie, ever curious and outspoken, had watched Claire intently. "You're not really family, are you?" the little girl mused aloud, her wide eyes filled with curiosity rather than malice. Claire's breath hitched. The words echoed in her mind, colliding with every insecurity and unhealed scar she carried. Not family, not really, an outsider, an imposter, an afterthought. Katie, in the unfiltered way children do, frowned. "But Mommy and Daddy always say real family doesn't hurt each other, and you hurt people before." The air grew thick with tension. Claire's hands trembled as she gripped the edge of the counter. The room seemed to close in, the walls pressing against her like silent accusations. She had worked so hard to erase her past, to silence the whispers of her own mind, telling her she would never belong. But Katie's words, they ripped through her like a blade, precise and unforgiving. Victoria, sensing something off, quickly intervened, gently scolding Katie and brushing the conversation aside. But the damage was done. Claire's demons, long subdued, stirred awake. In the days that followed, something changed in Claire. The poised, eager-to-please woman who had been striving for redemption began to unravel. She became distant, her eyes carrying an eerie glint, her movements sharper, more deliberate. The old Claire, the one who thrived in deception, who found solace in manipulation, began to claw her way back. At first, it was subtle, a misplaced toy that made Katie cry, a glass of juice that mysteriously spilled over Victoria's important documents. Small inconveniences, tiny nuisances that could be passed off as accidents. But Claire knew better. She was testing the waters, indulging in the power she once wielded. Katie began complaining of strange noises at night, of whispers that seemed to come from nowhere. At first, Victoria dismissed them as childhood imagination, but then the incidents escalated. Lights flickered when Claire was near. A doll, one of Katie's favorites, turned up in the fireplace, partially burned. The child became increasingly uneasy, avoiding Claire whenever possible. Victoria, despite her initial faith in Claire's redemption, couldn't ignore the growing sense of unease. Had she been too quick to forgive, too eager to believe that Claire had truly changed? What no one realized was that Claire had developed an obsession. Katie had become more than just the girl who accidentally unearthed her wounds. She had become a fixation. In Claire's twisted mind, Katie represented everything she had been denied: a loving family, a place in the Newman legacy. The thought twisted inside her, warping into something darker. If Katie weren't in the picture, would Claire's position be secure? Would Victoria and Cole finally see her as irreplaceable? Claire's mind spiraled, weaving a narrative where Katie was the obstacle standing in the way of her rightful place in the Newman family. And obstacles, in Claire's history, had a way of disappearing. One evening, as the storm raged outside, a different storm brewed inside the Newman estate. Katie, exhausted from the strange occurrences that had plagued her days, curled up in her bed, clutching a stuffed bunny for comfort. Claire stood in the shadows, her silhouette illuminated by the dim hallway light. Her breath was slow, deliberate. In her hand, she held Katie's doll, an offering, a peace token, or perhaps something more sinister. "Are you scared, Katie?" Claire whispered, stepping closer. "You don't have to be scared of me. I just want to talk." Katie shrank under the covers, her heart hammering in her chest. Something about Claire's voice sent chills down her spine. And then, just as quickly as she had appeared, Claire was gone, slipping into the darkness like a ghost. By morning, Victoria had reached her limit. The once distant warning bells had become deafening alarms. She confronted Claire, her voice laced with controlled fury. Claire's eyes flickered, a battle waging within her. Then, a slow, unsettling smile spread across her lips. "You still don't trust me, do you?" Claire Grace had come to Genoa City promising redemption. But now, as the shadows of her past began to consume her once more, one thing became certain. Katie Newman had triggered something inside her, something dark, something dangerous, and unless someone put a stop to it, the chaos ahead would be unlike anything the Newmans had ever seen.